Hello friends, my name is Vivek and welcome to this channel. In this video, I have taken up the topic Important Political Traditions of the 19th Century, which includes the ideas of the liberals, the radicals, the conservatives, the socialists, and also the spread of socialism in Europe from the chapter Socialism in Europe and the Russian Revolution for Class 9 from the book in history published by NCERT and applicable to all CBSE affiliated schools. The important events of the Russian Revolution will be taken up in my next video. So let's start this topic. Let us first recall the French Revolution, which took place in the year 1789. Before this revolution, the society in France was divided into three estates. The first estate consisted of the members of the church known as clergy. The second estate consisted of the nobility, and the third estate consisted of all the common people. The problem with this structure was that the first two estates had privileges. They also did not pay any tax to the state, whereas all the burden of taxation was borne by the members of the third estate. So in this way, this structure was quite exploitative. The French Revolution demolished or brought down this very structure, and it laid down a new order in society where such hierarchy was absent. Therefore, it brought about dramatic change in which society was structured. Now, this revolution inspired people of other parts of Europe. They also wanted to bring about a change in society. But not everybody has the same opinion as to how these changes would be brought about. Based on their thinking, based on their ideas, some people were considered as conservatives, some were considered as liberals, and some others as radicals. Let us now see the ideas of the liberals, the radicals, and the conservatives. Let us first start with the liberals. The liberals wanted a nation which tolerated all religions. This was because in Europe during those days, countries favored one particular religion. Say for example, Britain favored the Church of England, Austria and Spain, they favored the Catholic Church, and so on. That is why the liberals wanted a nation which tolerated all religions. The liberals were also against the uncontrolled power of the dynastic rulers. That means they were against absolute monarchy. The liberals also wanted to safeguard the rights of the individuals against the government. The liberals also argued for a representative elected parliamentary form of government which was free from the hold of bureaucracy. The liberals were also in favor of a trained and independent judiciary. But in spite of all these ideas of the liberals, they were not considered as democrats. Why? Because they were not in favor of universal adult franchise or universal adult suffrage. That means they did not favor that the right of vote should be given to all adults. They wanted that the right of vote should be given only to men of property. They were also not in favor of right to vote being given to women. That is why the liberals cannot be considered as democrats. Let us now see the views of the radicals. The radicals wanted a nation with a government based on majority of population. The radicals supported women's suffragette movement. Now, what was women's suffragette movement? In Europe in those times, in the 19th century, in many countries, women did not have the right to vote. The radicals wanted that women should also be given the right to vote. Now here we can see that the radicals are just the opposite to the liberals. The liberals did not favor the right to vote to women, whereas here we can see that the radicals are in support of women's movement for right to vote. The radicals opposed the privileges of the big landowners and the wealthy factory owners. They were not against private property, but they disliked the concentration of property in the hands of a few people. The conservatives were opposed to both the liberals and the radicals. They believed that some change was necessary in society, but wanted that the past had to be respected. That means the older institutions in society had to be respected and conserved, and that the change was to be brought about through a slow process. So here we can see the traditions of the radicals, the liberals and the conservatives were different from one another as to how changes in society were to be brought about. The Industrial Revolution or industrialization in Europe created a kind of divide in society between the rich and the poor. This is because when the industrialization began, people from rural areas started moving towards the urban centers to find jobs in these factories and industries. But they were faced with many problems. First of all, finding job was difficult. There was problem of unemployment. They were made to work for long hours. They were paid poor wages. There was inadequate facility of housing as well as sanitation. The liberals and the radicals, they wanted to find solution to these problems. In these prevailing circumstances, the idea of socialism also started to gain ground in Europe. Now, what was this socialism? The socialists were against private property, and they believed that private property is the root cause of all social ills. According to them, it is the private ownership of property which leads to exploitation of the workers, and it creates division in society between the rich and the poor. So they were against private property. But the socialists also had differing views as to how society would operate without private property. For example, Robert Owen, he founded a cooperative community called New Harmony in Indiana in United States of America. Likewise, Louis Blanc, who was a French politician and historian, wanted the government to encourage cooperatives and replace capitalist enterprise. Now let us try to understand what cooperatives are. A cooperative means a group of people coming together and they own and operate either a farm or a business, and the profit is shared among all of them. That means in a cooperative, no single person is the owner. Rather, every member who has participated in that cooperative is jointly the owner, and they jointly operate that business or farm, and the profit which is generated is shared among all of them. In a capitalist economy, what happens? In a capitalist economy, the means of production are privately owned, whether it be farm or factory, the owner will be one private person. And the motive of this system is generating profit for the owner. So here the owner hires workers and he pays wages to them, and these workers work for him, and the profit which is generated is solely in the hands of that particular individual who is owning that farm or factory. So according to the socialists, this system of capitalism should be replaced. The most vocal socialist thinkers of those times were Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels. Karl Marx was a German philosopher, thinker. He was also a journalist, and a political theorist. Engels was also a German political thinker. According to Karl Marx, the capitalist system is an exploitative system. He believed that the capital which has been invested in factories by the capitalist, is one thing, but the profit which is generated is being generated by the workers with their hard work. But these workers do not get any share in that profit which is solely earned by the capitalist. And therefore, this system exploits the workers. Karl Marx also believed and thought that this system will give rise to two opposite classes in society, the haves and the have-nots. That means the rich and the poor. And according to him, these will lead to a kind of class struggle. That means the rich and the poor would have a struggle, and in this struggle the poor, the workers, the working class will overthrow this capitalist system which is exploitative, and in its place a new order will be set in where all the property would be socially controlled. According to him, this society will be a communist society. By 1870s, socialist ideas spread through Europe. The socialists, in order to coordinate their efforts, also founded an international body known as the Second International. Socialist associations were formed in different parts of Europe, such as England, France, Germany, and so on. For example, the socialist associations formed the Labour Party in England in 1905. Likewise, Socialist Party was also formed in France. Hope this video was useful for you. Please do like and share this video and subscribe to this channel. Your comments, queries and suggestions can be given in the comment section below. The events of the Russian Revolution will be taken up in my next video. So keep watching this channel. Thank you so much for watching.